Have you ever wondered what it's like to have more than one identity living inside you? Welcome to a deep dive into Dissociative Identity Disorder, or DID. This condition often features the presence of two or more distinct identities or personality states that recurrently take control of an individual's behavior. Sounds like a plot of a Hollywood movie, doesn't it? But it's far from fiction. It's a real-life struggle for many people. The common misconceptions around DID often paint it as a spectacle or something to fear, but the reality of living with it is vastly different. Imagine having roommates in your mind, each with their own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. A bit crowded, isn't it? But more than that, it's a complex, challenging, and sometimes even fascinating journey of self-discovery and management. So let's dive into the fascinating, challenging world of dissociative identity disorder. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit that like button, turn on notifications, and share this video. Imagine waking up one day with no memory of the previous day, like our friend Jane. Jane, you see, is not just Jane. She's also Lisa, a carefree artist, and Michael, an assertive businessman, among others. These are not mere personas she adopts for fun, but distinct identities that exist within her. This is because Jane suffers from dissociative identity disorder, or DID. In Jane's world, there's rarely a dull moment. Imagine you're in the middle of a business presentation and suddenly you're no longer you, but a completely different person with unique thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This is a regular occurrence for Jane, where her alternate identities, or alters, come to the forefront without warning. These unexpected switches can create memory gaps, as each alter may not have access to the other's memories. Jane might find herself in places without knowing how she got there, or she might not remember events or people she's interacted with. These memory gaps, also known as blackouts, can be disorienting and distressing, making everyday tasks a challenge. Moreover, these different identities can have conflicting interests and behaviors. Lisa, the artist, might impulsively buy art supplies, while Michael, the businessman, might be upset about the unnecessary expenditure. This can lead to internal conflicts and external issues, particularly in personal and professional relationships. Imagine the confusion and strain it can cause when one day you're a reliable, disciplined professional, and the next, an unpredictable free spirit. It's not just about memory gaps or conflicting interests, though. Each of Jane's identities has its own age, gender, or even nationality. They may have different skills, preferences, and emotional responses. This means that Jane's life can change drastically from one moment to the next, depending on which identity is in control. As you can see, life with DID can be like a constantly changing maze. The way out is not always clear, and the walls keep shifting. But with understanding and support, navigating this maze can become a little less daunting. DID isn't just about having different identities, it's about how these identities can disrupt a person's everyday life. Imagine you're on a roller coaster. It's thrilling, it's exciting, but it's also full of unexpected twists and turns. Now imagine that roller coaster is your daily life. For people with dissociative identity disorder, or DID, this is their reality. Everyday tasks can become a challenge. Something as simple as making a cup of coffee can become an obstacle course when you're not sure which identity will be in control. Will it be the identity that likes black coffee, or the one that prefers cream and sugar? Or perhaps the one who doesn't drink coffee at all? Then consider maintaining relationships. It's tough enough to keep track of your own emotions, let alone multiple identities with their own unique feelings and perspectives. This can lead to miscommunication and confusion, straining relationships with friends, family, and partners. The workplace can also be a minefield. The pressure to perform, the stress of deadlines, the dynamics of team interactions, these can all trigger a switch in identities. Suddenly, the professional, competent identity that was handling a presentation might switch to an identity that is shy, unsure, or even unaware of the task at hand. And stress? Oh, the impact of stress. It's like a sudden storm on a sunny day. Stressful situations can cause a rapid switch between identities, leaving the person with DID feeling disoriented, confused, and exhausted. It's like being a ship tossed about on a stormy sea, with no control over the direction you're heading. But here's the thing. People with DID are not just dealing with a disorder. They're dealing with a unique way of experiencing life, a way that requires strength, resilience, and a whole lot of courage. They're navigating a roller coaster of a life with all its ups and downs, twists and turns, and that's something worth acknowledging, worth respecting. DID is not just an intriguing concept for a Hollywood movie, It's a real disorder that affects people's lives in profound ways. So, what actually happens in the brain of someone with DID? Well, buckle up because we're about to embark on a quick journey through the fascinating world of neuroscience. Dissociative Identity Disorder, or DID, previously known as multiple personality disorder, is still a bit of an enigma in the scientific community. But let's break down what we know so far. The development of DID is often linked to severe trauma, particularly during childhood, a period when the brain is still growing and forming. During this time, the young brain is like an eager sculptor, molding and shaping itself in response to experiences. When a child faces repetitive, intense trauma, the brain may resort to a unique survival strategy, dissociation. Now, dissociation isn't unique to DID. It's something we all do to some extent. Ever zoned out during a boring meeting or lost yourself in a book? That's a mild form of dissociation. But in the case of DID, it's a whole different ballgame. When faced with overwhelming trauma, the brain might split off or dissociate certain memories or emotions from the conscious mind. This is a protective strategy. The brain's way of saying, "This is too much to handle right now. Let's put it in a box and deal with it later." Over time, these boxes may develop into separate identities, each with its own memories, behaviors, and even physical characteristics. Each identity, often referred to as an alter, can take control of the person's behavior at different times. It's like a well-intentioned but overly zealous team of superheroes, each stepping in to save the day when the situation becomes too tough. So, the science behind DID is a complex interplay of trauma, dissociation, and the brain's incredible ability to adapt and protect itself. It's not about pretending or making up different personalities. It's a coping mechanism, albeit a complex and challenging one. Stress can be a trigger for everyone, but for someone with dissociative identity disorder, or DID, it can mean a total identity shift. Now that's a whole new level of becoming a different person when stressed. But let's not fret. There are ways to navigate these high-stress situations effectively. One of the most important strategies is grounding. Grounding techniques help people with DID stay connected to the present moment. This can be as simple as focusing on the sensation of your feet on the ground, the taste of a piece of candy, or the rhythm of your breath. The goal is to use sensory experiences to anchor oneself amidst the chaos. Therapy is another crucial part of managing DID during stressful times. Cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavior therapy can be particularly helpful. These therapies teach coping skills, improve emotional regulation, and help individuals understand their thought patterns. It's like having a personal guide to navigate the labyrinth of your mind. Not too shabby, right? But therapy isn't just about the individual with DID. Family therapy can be incredibly beneficial too. It helps loved ones understand what's going on and teaches them how to provide effective support. It's like a team-building exercise, but with a lot more empathy and understanding. Speaking of support, let's not underestimate the power of a solid support network. Friends, family, and even online communities can provide a lifeline in times of stress. They offer an ear to listen, a shoulder to lean on, and a helping hand when needed. It's like having your very own cheerleading squad, minus the pom-poms and chants. And lastly, self-care is essential. Regular exercise, a healthy diet, adequate sleep, and time for relaxation can significantly reduce stress levels. It's like giving your body and mind the premium fuel it needs to perform at its best. With the right tools and support, managing DID in high-stress situations can be less daunting. Remember, it's not about eliminating stress entirely, but learning how to navigate it effectively. It's a journey, not a destination. And you, my friend, are well equipped for the ride. So, how can we support those living with DID? Let's recap some of the key points we've discussed. Dissociative Identity Disorder, or DID, is a complex and often misunderstood condition that affects daily life in various ways. It's not about split personalities, but about distinct identities coexisting within one individual. But here's the crucial part: understanding. It's about seeing past the stereotypes, the misconceptions, and realizing that people with DID are just that. People. They have dreams, aspirations, and unique perspectives, just like anyone else. Empathy is our next stop. It's about putting ourselves in their shoes, trying to imagine what it's like to navigate through life with DID. It's about appreciating their strength and resilience, even in the face of high-stress situations. Lastly, support. Whether it's lending an ear, offering a comforting word, or simply being there, your support can make a world of difference. Remember, every person with DID has a unique experience. Let's strive to understand and support them in their journey.